Hi guys. So in this video, I just wanted to do an ABDL update and talk about my experience so far with my new crib. So as you guys know, I've got my own crib now, which is super cool. And I've had it for a couple of days. And so I slept in it 2 nights in a row. Last 2 nights, I slept in my crib. And this morning I woke up in my crib with some nice light coming in the window. My kitty cat slept with me in my crib too, which was nice. And yeah, I'm really enjoying it so far. So I just wanted to talk about my thoughts on sleeping in a crib. So every time I get something new with ABDL, it seems like I get really into it for a while, and then I don't know what the right word for it is, the novelty of it kind of wears off, and then I kind of forget about it. So an example is like all my toys. You know, when I first got all my toys, I was really excited, and then I kind of forgot about them. Same thing with like my pajamas, you know what I mean? Like super excited at first, I'd wear them every day, and then eventually I kind of got bored of it. And I would keep everything over here in my playroom, and you know, I would shut the door, and I wouldn't go in there for, you know, typically like a week at a time. I wouldn't even go into my playroom. I would just kind of forget about it, forget about the adult baby stuff. And so this weekend, it's been just like adult baby weekend, right? Because I got my crib on Friday, so I put it together Friday evening. And today's Sunday, so I slept in it Friday night, Saturday night. And I'm just wondering, like, if I'll get tired of sleeping in the crib, if it'll wear off, which I kind of think it probably will. Like it'll probably lose what's special about it and become more normal. You know what I mean? So I don't think I'll sleep in it every day, because I think I'll appreciate it more if sometimes I sleep in my big boy bed. You know what I mean? So, but I really, really like it. It's a great place to store my stuffed animals and everything. I'll have to excuse the noise that my cat is making. He's being bad. But anyway, so I've been having trouble putting into words what it feels like to sleep in a crib and what it feels like to wake up in a crib surrounded by toys. It's something I've been thinking about and trying to put into words, but it's very hard to explain. You know what I mean? Like, I feel like I get into a deeper level of little space. You know what I mean? It's like I don't know. It sounds kind of silly, but it kind of puts me into a place where it's like my brain turns into mush. You know what I mean? So it's like I don't really think about words, and I'm not like an adult in a crib. I'm a baby in a crib, and I can just absorb the feeling, the sights, the sounds, especially with like my baby toys, like this one. And I don't know. The way I would describe it would be mindfulness, and so one thing I've done a lot of research on in the last couple of years, especially since I've started experimenting with ABDL and learning about the different motivations behind ABDL, is childhood trauma. And there are a lot of things that I relate to when I watch videos about or read about childhood trauma. And me personally, I can't remember any childhood trauma. I mean, obviously, I can remember getting picked on as a kid, but I mean, nothing that was really traumatic, you know what I mean? And I've been doing some research on it, and a lot of childhood trauma comes from a time before you're able to even form memories whenever you're a baby. And what it is you have emotional trauma and you have an emotional memory, but you don't have regular memories. And so I'm thinking that there was some sort of childhood trauma back whenever I was very, very small. And these feelings that I get of well-being, mindfulness, the just good feelings of being an adult baby is somehow related to trauma that I experienced when I was that age. Like, I don't know, like 1 or 2, like before I could really form memories. And it's just something I've been thinking about. But anyway, so long story short, my kitty cat is bugging me over here. He wants to play. But long story short, I think that little space, being an adult baby, dressing like a baby, sleeping in a crib, playing with toys, is a way for me to cope with that emotional childhood trauma, and also a way to practice mindfulness. So whenever you have childhood trauma, you end up with traits like maybe coping mechanisms, anxiety, things like this, that the root cause, like hypervigilance, like the root cause is childhood trauma that needs to be processed. And you process that through mindfulness. So I think that what I've been experimenting with, and really, I mean, I gotta thank you guys, because I started making videos to review adult diapers, because I'm incontinent. And it was strictly from the view of, okay, these are the products that I use to manage my incontinence. It took a long time for me to figure this out, so I want to share this information. And a lot of those products just happen to be adult baby products, adult baby diapers. So my target audience was just, people who are incontinent. But my actual audience that I got consisted mostly of ABDLs. And surprisingly, a lot of ABDLs who got into ABDL because they're incontinent. So it's just very interesting. So if I never started making these videos about incontinence, I would have never experimented with ABDL. I would have never gotten a crib. I would have never gotten some pajamas. I wouldn't have gotten my stuffed animals. You know what I mean? So it's just really interesting, this journey. It's more than just a journey into ABDL. It's not a sexual kink for me, and something that's really frustrating is that, like, when you see a lot of stuff online about people who are not ABDL describing ABDL, they describe it as a sexual kink. But from what I've noticed with all the people that I interact with, other people online, is like, well, where's the sexual part of it? You know what I mean? There's nothing sexual going on here. And maybe for some people it is, but I think it's not the norm. You know what I mean? It's not, I don't think that most ABDLs look at it in a sexual way. I mean, I know I don't. I don't see anything sexual about this. And it just seems a little absurd, you know what I mean? But anyway, that's a topic for a different video, which I do have a video talking about that. But anyway, yeah. So I think the gist of it is that I got this crib because I wanted it, and I didn't know why I wanted it. And I think I subconsciously wanted it because of my need for mindfulness, my need for processing some emotional baggage that I have. You know what I mean? So I think it's overall going to be good for my mental health. So I think the crib helps me feel better emotionally. These pajamas make me feel better emotionally. And who knows, maybe some of the issue is that I grew up being incontinent and having to wear adult diapers. You know, so I think I've mentioned in plenty of videos that I've been wearing adult diapers since I was 12 due to incontinence. And that is a really, really hard time to have to deal with such a scary medical issue. That's also the time I went through puberty. You know, when I got all these hormones, and maybe that's part of it. Maybe, and you know, a lot of people who are ABDL have a similar story. They became incontinent and then they discovered ABDL. You know, so I don't know, just a thought. But another thought I have is that it doesn't matter why I want a crib. It doesn't matter why I want to wear pajamas and have stuffed animals and suck on a pacifier. It doesn't matter why. The only thing that matters is that I enjoy it. It makes me feel good, and it makes my life better. You know what I mean? So do what makes you happy, guys. If wearing diapers, even if you're not incontinent, if wearing diapers makes you feel good, go for it. You know what I mean? I don't care. Who am I to judge? You know? I mean, I'm not wearing diapers by choice, but I'm sleeping in a crib. I'm wearing pajamas, footy pajamas. You know what I mean? Sucking on a pacifier. So I don't need these things, you know? Well, maybe I do. Maybe I need them emotionally, you know? So that's pretty much it for this video. I look forward to making more content with my crib. It's a very nice crib, by the way. It's solid wood. Super cool. But yeah, that's it for this video. Thanks, guys.